Look, I think if I stand back and look at the region as a whole and some of the changes that we've seen within our region, you do see a more assertive China. And look, there'll be a whole host of reasons for that. Their integration into the regional economy, the growth of China, the growth of its middle class. There'll be a whole range of reasons, but you have also seen a more assertive approach on a number of different issues and relationships. So that undoubtedly has changed over my time in office. But our job has to be, how do we ensure that we maintain a strong relationship, but one where we are able to make sure that we can still voice the concerns that we have, cooperate where there are areas for us to cooperate, but also continue to just take that long-standing position that with all of those that we engage with, that it's important to us that we see the rules, the international norms all upheld. So that's a position we've taken and maintained despite the changes we've seen. It would be wrong to characterise the relationship China has in the Pacific as being new. It's long-standing, they've been engaged for decades, but we have seen some changes in the nature of the relationship. And our message here, both inwardly amongst our neighbours in the Pacific and to China, has been that we expect that there will continue to be those relationships, and they will be. Each democracy has its own right to conduct its own relationships in the manner that the way they see fit. It's where those relationships spill over to having an effect on the rest of the region that we believe that there should be a regional approach. And we should be working through some of those institutions and infrastructure we have, like the Pacific Island Forum.
New Zealand was nowhere to be seen.
I disagree. I think if you take a measure of a relationship as solely being when was the last time you had a politician visit, that is not the measure of a relationship. Our relationships in the Pacific region are family relationships because we are family, we're of the Pacific. And you can see that in the way that we work together, the fact that we've had partnerships for a number of years, the fact that our people-to-people exchanges are literally community to community. So I think we have to be really cautious about treating relationships as if it's somehow one-upsmanship. We've got to be consistent in our present, and New Zealand has been.
And on deportations? Yes. Any updates? How's that tracking? Are we on track?
We've actually, from the moment we came into office, been focused on what has been previously characterised as diversification, but what I would say is resilience. We saw through COVID that actually, regardless of the reason, if you see change in a marketplace where you've had a dominant market for any goods or services, that can be problematic. If you have a supply chain issue, then it can cause a whole range of issues. So this, for us, is about resilience. Same approach to politics, because mine is not about whoever's in front of me. It's about... We've just come through, we're in the middle of an enormous economic crisis, and yet we've got some of the lowest Māori unemployment that we've seen. When you compare that to past times where we've had, say, the global financial crisis, where Māori unemployment was high, for me, that is what we have been elected to do. Yes, of course, Māori want to see us uphold our treaty obligations, but they also want to see housing for their community. They want to see good healthcare and decent education opportunities. They want to see us build houses. So these are things that we have been focused on, because that is what our Māori communities are focused on too. Changes in the nature of the relationship. And our message here, change is always difficult. Change will always bring opposition, but actually I'm proud of what we've done. It is always important to try and keep bringing people with you, and every time you do make those steps, there will be those who disagree with that. But I'd like to think we've been able to make progress, but in a relatively respectful way, where there's been some good debate and dialogue, and that's what it's really important to maintain. 2019, about this time, we went. Politics is all about fixing problems. We've had a few more problems than most that we've needed to fix, but I think we've demonstrated that we have the experience and the focus to continue to take on those challenges, and that's what we'll be focused on in 2023. That we advocate for New Zealanders to have, to maintain the right. One thing I'm mindful of, right now people feel a sense of anxiety. They feel a sense of anxiety about the unknown of what's in front of us. I do think it's important that we acknowledge, yes, it has been challenging and it will be, but they're also, we know enough about what's coming our way to know that we will get through. So we've been really consistent on that, and we say the same thing. For us, it's about the relationship, and it's about maintaining the reciprocal relationship that we have. It's also about making sure that we look after our Kiwis, no matter where they are in the world. In the same way that, yes, we've advocated for them to have rights in Australia because we give rights to Australians, that we advocate for New Zealanders to have, to maintain the rights they have in the UK. We look after our people no matter where they are contributing in the world. So I expect, and every politician expects, to be held to account. We do.